Part 1. The Rise of Tension Visuals. 1930s. Germany. Hitler's speeches. Poverty. Narrator: the seeds of World War II were planted long before the first bullet was fired. After World War I, Germany was left humiliated, punished by the Treaty of Versailles, and drowning in economic collapse. Out of that anger rose Adolf Hitler, a man who promised to restore Germany's pride. But beneath the promise was hate, racism, and a vision for a so-called pure German empire. Part 2. The War Begins. Narrator: on September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Hitler claimed it was a defensive move, but the world saw the truth. Britain and France declared war. Within months, Hitler's army conquered Norway, Denmark, Belgium, the Netherlands, and even France. In just 6 weeks, one of Europe's strongest nations fell. Only Britain stood firm, enduring months of bombing and the Blitz. Part 3. Axis ambitions and Pearl Harbor. Visuals: Mussolini, Japanese invasions in China, Pearl Harbor attack. Narrator: Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, had joined the war, invading North Africa and Greece, and in the east, Imperial Japan was expanding aggressively, already at war with China since 1937. Then came the day that changed everything. December 7th, 1941. Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, killing over 2,400 Americans. The next day, the United States entered the war, joining the Allies. World War II had become a truly global conflict. Part 4. The Eastern Front and Visuals. Frozen Soviet front lines. Stalingrad battle footage. Narrator: in 1941, he invaded the Soviet Union. The Eastern Front became the bloodiest theater of the war. At Stalingrad, German troops fought Soviet defenders in brutal street-to-street combat. Temperatures dropped below freezing. Soldiers starved, froze, and bled. Over 2 million people died in the battle. It was the first major defeat for Hitler and a turning point in the war. Part 5. The Holocaust. Visuals: Auschwitz, gates, Jewish families, deportation, trains. Narrator: while the world was focused on battlefields, a darker horror unfolded. The Nazis didn't just want to conquer land, they wanted to eliminate entire peoples. Over 6 million Jews were murdered in gas chambers, camps, and mass shootings. Alongside them were Roma, disabled people, homosexuals, and political prisoners. These crimes remain among the most horrific ever committed by humanity. Part 6. The Allied Comeback. D-Day and Beyond Visuals. D-Day landings, flags rising, liberation of Paris. Narrator: it was the largest amphibious assault in history. By 1944, the Allies were ready to fight back. Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich was crumbling fast. On June 6th, over 150,000 Allied troops landed in Normandy, France. Soldiers stormed the beaches under heavy fire. Thousands died, but the invasion succeeded. Germany was pushed back. Part 7. The End of the War Visuals. Berlin in ruins. Hitler's bunker. In April 1945, Soviet troops reached Berlin. Hitler, hiding in a bunker, took his own life. On May 8th, Germany surrendered. Victory in Europe was declared, but in the Pacific, Japan continued to fight. To end the war quickly, the US dropped two atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Over 200,000 people died. Days later, Japan surrendered. The war was over. Part 8. The Aftermath. Visuals: war-torn cities, UN formation, people rebuilding. Cities were rubble. Entire generations were lost. Narrator: World War II left the world scarred. Over 70 million people were dead. The United Nations was formed. Nations vowed, but out of the ashes came a desire for peace. The world had witnessed both the darkest and bravest parts of the human soul. Closing. Visuals: peaceful, modern scenes, war memorials, candles. Narrator: World War II was more than just battles, and Bombzit was a lesson, a reminder of what we must protect, and what we must never repeat. Remember the past, learn from it, and honor those who never came home. Optional call to action. If you found this story powerful, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep history alive.